Hey, sis. You've just been staying here holed up in your room all day, haven't you? Have you even looked out the window yet today? Do you even know whether it's sunny or warm or snowing outdoors? I can't even get any peace and quiet over here anymore because Mom won't stop sighing that you always just stay in your room and never want to eat any meals with her.
What? Mom only cooks for herself. She even gets mad whenever I try to use the kitchen. So I have no other choice than to buy my meals at a gas station or a cheap takeout restaurant. So now I need to bring my store-bought food to eat with her while she eats a meal she cooked only for herself. What kind of nonsense is that? I do see what you're saying, but I just can't enjoy eating with her while she won't stop complaining like this. By the way, you're actually here, texting me from your room instead of just talking to me?
Yes, I am. I'm sort of busy. It's a holiday weekend after all, and I guess I do actually need to show my face around there once in a while.
I just saw you only 2 weeks ago.
It's my own family home, so I can decide on my own whether or not to go there, whenever I choose.
I guess that's true.
As for right now, I'm just relaxing at my own pace.
That's ridiculous. You're sending text messages from the next room.
Well, it's actually a real hassle just to walk up the stairs every single time I need to say anything to you. I just mean, well, the real problem is, do you even know what the real problem is?
I guess I don't. So just what exactly is the real problem?
Alright, please listen to me. I graduated from a good college, and I joined a big company.
Yeah, I guess I understand.
Rather quickly, I became the best at my job in the entire department. Everyone depends on me, and my boss loves me.
Wow, that's great. You must be very proud of yourself for all of that.
And now, can you see that you're the problem?
Me? What problem have I ever caused?
Your final education was from a vocational school.
But that doesn't matter because I graduated with the skills to do what I wanted to do.
No, the problem is much bigger than that.
Problem? What problem?
Well, the problem is just that. You're just loafing around right now, aren't you?
What are you talking about?
You just stay at home all the time. Don't just depend on our mom forever. Get dressed, go outside and get a job. What I mean is, kids who grow into adults and then just stay at home depending on their parents forever are eventually told to get out. Even technical graduates can at the very least try to contribute to society in some small way. If you don't even get a job, you won't ever be able to amount to anything out in the real world.
No, you've still got it all wrong. I already explained all of this to you before. As I told you, I don't work for a company, but I do have a job. I work from home.
Oh, yes, you like to say you're freelancing. Isn't that right?
If you have any idea what freelancing is, why do you keep telling me to get a job?
Life in this world is never so easy.
What are you even talking about now?
Well, you see, a natural-born genius like me can do anything excellently with ease, but freelancers like you can produce only average results, no matter how hard you try.
It is true, not everyone can be a total success in this world all the time. But I'm lucky enough to always find work for my skills. After all, that's the only reason I chose to go to vocational school in the first place.
Oh, so you went to a vocational school to learn to be a loafer. Do you even have any small idea of how hilarious you sound?
For a self-proclaimed genius, you're still missing the whole point of what's really going on here. You don't even have any idea of what technical school I actually went to in the first place.
I just don't want to bother my genius brain with any useless information. Please don't ever associate me with a half-brained like you.
So you think it's useless information? And just what's so useless about it?
Well, it's useless now that it's only helping an incompetent like you to feel good about yourself.
Just what exactly do you think you mean by now?
Be patient. Don't worry. Just sit right there and wait. You'll find out in a little while.
Hannah, may I ask you something? Sure, anytime, Mom. What is it? You need to get all your things out of this house. Make sure you have every last thing out of here before the end of the week. What? First of all, that's not even a question. Second of all, are you actually telling me to get out of the house?
Yes, that's exactly right. You need to get every last one of your things out of this house. And you need to make it quick.
But why in such a hurry all of a sudden? What exactly is going on?
Kenny is gonna come back home, and I need you to open your room.
What are you even talking about? Who cares if he comes back? I don't. You've always just kept his room for him all the time before. So why do you think you need my room all of a sudden?
Well, you do know about working remotely from home, don't you?
Yes, of course I know all about those sorts of things.
Well, I heard that Kenny's company is going to give him an opportunity to work remotely from home very soon. So he's thinking of taking this opportunity to come back home since he'll be able to work from home. But he said he wants to keep his private life and his working life completely separate, so he'll need an entire room absolutely dedicated only to his very important work.
Okay, so that's actually the only reason you're telling me to leave.
Yes, that's exactly the reason you need to leave. And I think it's an important opportunity for you too.
What are you talking about? How is your kicking me out of the house a good opportunity for me?
Oh, I think you know exactly what I mean. You never actually work. You always just stay in your room all day long every day, playing video games on your computer all the time.
No, that's not at all the way it is. As I have told you so many times before, I am working from home.
Kenny told me all about you. You're only just a part-time worker, isn't that right?
What? No, I'm a freelance worker, not a part-time worker.
Okay, so the words aren't exactly the same, but the substance is just exactly the same. And Kenny says that you don't make very much money at all.
I make a decent amount of money. I've shown you the money I'm paid in the history of my online bank statements. You don't remember?
Kenny told me that it's easy to fake information on the internet.
What? So you believe what Kenny told you over what you saw with your own eyes?
I believe him because he's better than you, who's never had any real job. I can trust him a lot more than I can trust you.
What's all that you just said?
Well, anyway, you just have to have all of your things out of here before the end of the week. Kenny's going to start working from home next week, so I need to hurry up and have his new work office all ready for him.
I'm gonna ask you again just to be sure. Are you sure I really have to leave?
That's exactly what I am telling you. It is very simple and clear. I will not allow you to stay here and keep walking in and out of the door of this house until you get a real job. Understand?
So, sis, have you moved out yet?
Yes, I have. The truck carrying away all of my things has already left. I've left too. I took a train.
Well, okay then. So, from today on, your room is mine. The next time you visit, you can sleep in the living room.
Oh, by the way, your package was delivered by FedEx.
I made them guarantee that it would arrive today.
That's all fine, but for all the talk about working remotely from home, were there any computer-related boxes?
Why?
What do you mean by asking why? Computer boxes always have stickers that say this side up and fragile. The only fragile sticker on any of the boxes says it's a TV box. So maybe your computer equipment will arrive later in separate boxes?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't need to take anything like that home with me. All of that's already there at home.
Are you really so sure everything you need to work from home is already there?
Well, I'll be home soon to check on everything.
Oh. How are you so near to home already?
I wasn't so very far away at all. I was just killing time at a nearby family restaurant. I need to go for now. I'll talk to you later. Hey, sis. What is going on here? Why is there nothing left here?
What are you asking about?
Your room is completely empty. Why is your room empty? Where did you put everything that was in here?
Where did I put everything? The movers put all of it into the moving truck to take it where I'm moving. Mom told me to be very sure to get all of my things out of that room, every last thing out, before the end of the week. I wasn't given any choice, not even any warning. All of a sudden I was told that I need to be completely out in just a few days. It was very clear.
What? Why did you bring it all with you?
What do you mean asking me why? Of course I took all of my things. I only did exactly what I was told I had to do.
If you're gonna take things with you, you should only take the things that you actually bought for yourself with your own money. You especially need to return the computer right away. I'm using it.
What in the world are you talking about? I bought everything in my room by myself with my own money, including my computer. So of course I'm taking my own computer with me.
Don't even try talking such total nonsense to me. How can someone who went to college just to do nothing ever get money to buy a computer like that with such specs and price tag?
I earn fine money as a freelance worker.
Freelance worker? You're completely incompetent. You can't do any real freelance work. There's just no way you could ever afford to buy any computer like that with your own money.
I make just as much money as any office worker my age.
Oh, stop telling me such ridiculous lies.
If you don't believe me, ask her cousin Michelle.
Michelle? Why?
Because she works at the computer store where I bought the computer. She understands computers well, so I asked her to help me find just the right computer for my work. Many computers which are sold as work-from-home computer system just don't have the right specs for the kind of freelance work I'm doing. She also saw me pay for the computer with my own bank card, with my name right there on it, which proves very clearly that it is my computer. Anyway, I bought that computer with money from a part-time job while I was attending vocational school, preparing for my future. So it doesn't have anything to do with how much money I'm making right now.
Okay, fine, I understand. It doesn't matter anymore how much money you're making. Just bring the computer back here right away for me to use from now on.
No, I'm not bringing my work computer back there for you to use. I need my computer every single day for my work.
If you're really making so much money, isn't it time for you to buy a new computer anyway? So bring that computer back right here.
Well, to begin with, you want to use a computer to work remotely from home for your company, don't you? Shouldn't your company give you a computer to use to work from home? Or at least cover the cost of everything you need to work from home?
Well, no, not exactly.
Well, anyway, don't wait too long to tell Mom that you actually went and got yourself fired from the company you're pretending that you're going to continue working for remotely from home.
Hey, what are you talking about?
The remote work system was actually introduced more than 6 months ago. Your company chose you to be one of the charter members to test out the idea because you used to be an excellent employee in one way or another. However, when it came time to start doing real work from home, they found out that you'd become lazy and were not actually doing any real work anymore at all. So now you're moving back home to live with Mom because you couldn't find any other job and you couldn't afford to pay the rent for your apartment.
Hey, how did you even know any of that?
I have a good friend working at that company.
What? Who?
I think it's time for me to go now. I get motion sickness when I use my phone while riding the train, so I need to stop for now. Bye!
Hey!
Bye for now!
Hannah, hello? Come on, hello?
What?
I just got a call from one of your father's relatives telling me that I'm 3 months behind on my rent and that I need to pay it up to date as soon as possible. What is all of this about? Kenny says he doesn't remember ever hearing anything about it. Do you know anything about any of this?
What? You haven't been paying the rent?
No, of course I haven't been paying any rent. Why should I be paying rent when I own the house?
Huh? What are you talking about? You don't own that house. None of us actually own that house. That house is a rental?
A rental? What do you mean?
That house was originally rented to us at a reasonable price by a great uncle of Dad's side of the family, who is the landlord. That house is his house. He owns it, not any of us. But when you and Dad divorced 4 years ago, you just wouldn't stop complaining that you wanted to continue to live in the house. So we felt we had no choice but to continue living there on the condition that we'd pay rent at a fair price from now on.
What? Wait a minute. So do you mean that all of that rent was actually being paid by someone up until just 3 months ago? There's no way that my ex-husband's been paying for it, and Kenny didn't get a job until last year. So where on earth has all of that rent money been paid from all of this time?
I was paying it all of that time because I was the only one who was able to pay it.
What?
Well, you only work part-time and only 3 or 4 days a week, so I had no other choice but to pay it. Nobody else was able to. Don't you remember? I already explained all of this to you when you kicked me out of the house. I told you that I'd contact her great uncle and that you'd need to figure out how to start paying the rent without me.
No, wait a minute. That's just not possible. You don't earn that kind of money, not at all.
I have told you many times, I'm earning my keep. I'm making good money as a freelance graphic designer, just as I've been telling you.
You have? I don't remember.
Yes, I've been telling you. I've told you many times, but you never believe me. Or maybe you just never actually listen to anything that anyone tells you. Your lifelong refusal or inability to really listen to anyone at all actually just might be one of the biggest reasons for your divorce from Dad. When we talked about what to do with the house, you just kept saying, "Give me this house," over and over without even listening to any of what Dad was saying to you at all. "If you don't give me this house, I won't let you divorce me," you kept telling him. You just kept pleading and ranting like a child, throwing tantrums continually, until I eventually got you to talk it over with Dad and her great uncle.
What? I don't remember any of that at all.
It was horrible. I already wanted to leave home, but I couldn't because somebody needed to pay the rent. But if I did that, nobody'd be able to pay the rent. And at that time, Kenny was still a student in school, so I had no choice but to stay at home with you and pay the rent all on my own.
Oh, now I see what's really been going on this whole time. So first of all, please transfer the entire past due rent and all future rent payments to my bank account. So that's 3 months' rent you need to send to me right now, and then you'll need to always send me each month's rent before it's due. I don't want him to be calling me about the rent ever again. It made me a complete nervous wreck the entire afternoon.
What? You kicked me out of the house, remember? And now you're actually trying to demand that I start paying the rent again? While I'm not even living there? I guess you really have no idea at all how crazy you're sounding right now, do you?
Well, but
you and Kenny kicked me out of the house. You told me that I needed to have every last one of my things out of that house before the end of the very same week from when you first sprang that one on me out of nowhere.
Well, things have changed.
No, from now on it's up to you two who are actually living there to work it out on your own.
Where are you even living right now?
I'm not going to tell you because I don't want you to be interrupting my work. So this is goodbye. When my mom told me to get out of the house, I called my father, who now lives far away. He thanked me for all of the hard work that I'd done. When I heard how thankful he was for my paying the rent and also for everything else I'd done, I couldn't help myself, and I just cried uncontrollably. Now I'm living alone in the same state as my father. My mother once contacted my father to request that they get back together, but he sidestepped her offer and just continued the conversation only to find out how they were doing. My mother and brother, who couldn't afford to pay the rent, were evicted from the house and had to move into a one-room apartment together. Now my brother has become the ultimate loafer, but he started calling himself a freelance genius. Mom has been working more part-time jobs to support him, but they're constantly quarreling and are nearly always at odds with each other. Well, I don't worry about any of that very much anymore, because I consider my mother and brother to be completely removed from me and my life. Thank you for watching. Please rate our videos and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.